Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Olivia Daniels.
And I'm Jeremy Ferdman. We are the co-founders and artistic directors of Artists in Residence. Thank you for joining us.
My name is David Eisner.
And I'm Avery Saltzman, and we're the co-artistic directors and co-founders of the Harold Green Jewish Theater Company. And we are thrilled to be here tonight to announce the winner of Unravel, a monologue slam competition.
Now, to take you back to the beginning of this process, our companies joined forces and put out a call for submissions, asking young artists across Canada to write and perform an original monologue on the topic of Jewish identity.
And we received a plethora of incredible video submissions. We then faced the daunting task of selecting our top 10 finalists, who you saw perform in our broadcast last Wednesday.
Next, it was up to our 4 special guest judges to narrow down these 10 finalists to the top 3.
And last but not least, we turn it over to you, our audience, to vote for your favorite monologue. Now the results are in, and we'll be announcing the winner right here, real soon, live.
But first, we are so excited to have the chance to chat with our 3 finalists, Jenna Barenbaum, Ori Black, and Fanny Kearse.
And we'll also be joined by Ellie Barlin-Daniels, the founder of the Barlin-Daniels Emerging Artists Initiative, to talk about her inspiration for this new endeavor.
All very exciting. But before we welcome our guests, we wanted to share with you this short video recap of Wednesday's broadcast. So please enjoy a teaser of Unravel.
So I've been writing this year for like my first try at it. And then this seemed like a really good opportunity to try that out.
I had a lot of fun writing the monologue.
I find that like my Jewish identity goes all the way back to when I first saw Hannah's Suitcase at Young People's Theater.
I'm an actor and writer, so a lot of my work, when I write specifically as well, pertains to Judaism and my Judaism.
Meandering thoughts I've had about, working in the comedy community and working in the Jewish community and the Jewish comedy community, and a lot of big questions I've been asking myself recently. And
I kind of feel rejected from a lot of circles that aren't specifically Jewish from the intro.
Having the idea of what I related to in Judaism and what I thought Judaism was, and then people who know next to nothing about Judaism having their opinions of like, oh no, Jewish people aren't like that. You're not like that. You're a good Jew.
I was so grateful for the opportunity to write this because it was actually very healing. So
well, we're all grateful that you also took the time to write in and submit, because I think we have 10 wonderful finalists that we're all thrilled with.
People will always know you're Jewish before you tell them, my dad said.
I rejected my Jewish identity for so long.
It feels like getting them wrong fractures some delicate matter holding the memories of this family history intact.
Denouncing us is to demonize us, and it feeds the flames that have already been ignited.
Forced to think of the ash, the rubble, the multi-generational salt on your plate, in your eye, and this pigsty unforgiving.
איך היהודי הזה שונה מהיהודים האחרים? How is this Jew different from all other Jews?
It's desperate faith in an explanation for suffering that I can't come to on my own.
But people I did not know invited me into their home, invited me as family, and I was not strange there.
Jews that look like me, diverse and well-versed culturally, will be the revolution.
It really is such a tough decision.
Yeah,
they are also very good.
Yes, a lot of talent, a lot of skilled up and coming writers. I think in particular, that Canada has to look forward to.
Bravery as well.
Mm-hmm.
I loved how it sort of brought up some things that have been on my mind a lot lately about like, how does Judaism relate to my current life versus old traditions, or things about it that I don't really understand or that I don't quite relate to.
This idea of carrying forth traditions and memories, and I feel like that's a very grounded Jewish thing. But what I also thought was interesting about the selection of pieces as well was how each of these individuals seem to be struggling or coming up against that in different ways.
It was interesting though to still go like, oh, I see myself, and I have had that experience, or I've had not that, but there was like an interconnectivity and that Jewish geography that we always play when we meet other Jews.
Just how different everyone's piece was and how varied, not only in subject matter, but like performance and, some people took it as more poetic and some people took it more literally.
They had the ability to stand outside themselves and look in. I don't think I had that at that age. I wasn't given the opportunity at that age.
I guess the top three that we've discussed works more strongly. Yeah.
I think those are really great choices, and I think it's great. Those are three great choices to put forward to our audience.
Okay, now it is my honor to present the three finalists for the Unravel competition. They are, in no particular order, Jenna Barenbaum, Fanny Kearse, and Ori Black. Congratulations, you three, and now it is up to the voting audience to pick the winner. Good luck.
Wow, we're so excited. It was really an amazing evening. And for those of you who missed the event and would like to watch it again, the full video is posted on the Harold Green Jewish Theater Company YouTube page.
So go check it out. And we wanted to take this moment to say a special thank you to everyone who worked with us, who worked so hard to make the event a success, including Matt Birnbaum, Liza Hirsch, Alexandra Anisman, Lauren Trossman, and Amanda Belzowski.
And another special shout out to our other finalists, Stephanie Zeit, Adina Samuels, Becca Willow Moss, Rachel Manson, Naomi Gutman, Amanda Friedman, and Anna Binder.
And those special guest judges you just saw deliberating, Ari Weinberg, Jamie Ellman, Saturday Night Live's Rachel Dratch, and last but not least, Ellie Barlin Daniels. A name you'll hear more tonight because, well, she's in the waiting room right now. And I'd like to ask her to please join us for a brief chat. So please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Ellie Daniels.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Ellie.
So nice to be here.
How are you doing? Good?
Yeah, great. Thank you. Excited to find out who wins.
We all are. And that will be coming up soon. But I wanted to ask you, Ellie, you've been truly amazing. I say partner in your passion to help our theater company, the Harold Green Jewish Theater Company, for many, many years. And we're all grateful for that. What was the inspiration taking this next step and starting this youth initiative and spearheading it? What was behind your thinking in that?
Well, I think Avery and I had quite a few conversations about this over the years, just that when I would come into the theater, I couldn't help but notice the graying, as I call it, of the audience. And this isn't unusual for theater anywhere. I mean, I see it in New York as well in the audiences. But I was thinking, how do we attract a younger audience? And what would it take to get them into the theater and, to have this tradition of, going to the theater, especially in the Jewish community. We seem to be avid theater goers, but how do we attract the younger audience? And I think it was to bring in stories that spoke to them and be able to attract them. We needed material that was more relevant and of interest to their age group. So I think this initiative could encourage younger people to think about their Jewish heritage and what it means to them, and then presenting stories where they could see themselves and or people that they could relate to, could start conversations about their identity, inspire them to ask questions about who they are, where they come from, and where they want to go. And I think also if there was a young company that could become part of this initiative eventually, it could be a place for young artists to hone their craft and work with professionals from the Jewish theater, but also a place where other theater companies could draw from a pool of actors there seems to be a limited amount of places where these young people in our city at least come from, maybe one or two schools, but we see these faces over and over again. And I think we need a bigger pool of young artists to be involved.
Right.
Looking into the future, maybe in a crystal ball, maybe 3, 4, 5 years from now, what would you say what would the initiative be for the future? What do you see at 4 or 5 years from now if we're as successful as we were for this first initiative of Unravel?
Well, I think it's an extension of what I just said. Essentially, finding those new stories that speak to this audience, maybe commissioning plays, or at least going through workshops and finding these new pieces written by younger voices, and also have these young people discover some of our older work in our community that are really well loved and are important for them to know, so that they know about this. And as well, to work with, even open it up to outside the theater community in particular, but to young people who may have an interest in theater or these stories, perhaps through different school programs, Jewish schools, other schools, college groups, perhaps even March the Living type of groups, or Birthright, but just people who want to get together, and it could be a way for them to meet one another and explore these stories. So it'd be great for them to hear our music of our heritage, but also show us and other audience and the audience music that is important to them now that we don't know about. So all those things.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Ellie, from David and myself and Matt, our general manager, the support that you've brought us over the years, we're very, very blessed to have you and Peter, another part of the Barn and Daniels initiative, for your support. And from the both of us, we thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you live real soon to give you that hug that is so well deserved. So,
I love it.
so thanks, Ellie, and we'll see you real soon.
Thanks so much, everybody. Take care. Have fun.
Thanks.
Good night.
Wow. Wonderful. It's heartwarming. It's heartwarming to have people who are so entrusted with our company, Dave, to reach out and to give us and to allow us to grow in ways that we've always wanted, but needed that push a little bit, to move us forward in different directions. And so we're grateful.
Yeah.
It's an exciting future ahead.
Yeah, for all of us. Thank you, and Olivia and Jeremy too. Now, I think the reason we're all here is because we want to talk to and introduce our 3 top finalists. We have all the way from Regina, Saskatchewan, Fanny Curse. Fanny, there she is. Hi, Fanny.
Hello.
From Toronto, Ontario, in our own backyard, Ori Black.
Hi.
Hey, Ori.
How's it going?
Good, welcome. And from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, her birthday just happens to be today also. How cool is that? Again, from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Jenna Birnbaum.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Birthday.
Happy birthday.
That's a birthday.
You look
is that
great.
a new birthday hat?
This is my birthday hat. That
Very-
look good on your birthday.
Very cool.
Very cool.
To our Saskatchewan finalists and our Toronto finalists, you all look amazing. You all did such a great job. Interesting. You got to learn a little bit about all of you through this process, finding out a bit of a narrative with connection to Judaism. Let's drill a little deeper and just tell us a little bit about where you are now, where you're heading in your life and your career. We'd love to hear from all 3 of you with that. Fanny, you want to start us off?
Sure, why not? So first of all, I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity. It's been so exciting. And like you said, one of the best things has been connecting with other young Jewish people. It's been really interesting to kind of tap into that again and make some connections through the top 10 and the top 3. There's been lots of really interesting conversations being generated. So a little bit about me. I've been a social worker for the past 7 years. And throughout the pandemic, I just really kind of tapped into my writing again. It's been something that's hugely healing for me and my mental health. So to be 100% honest, I'm not 100% sure what's next for me. I love my job working with kids. It obviously has its ups and downs like anything. So I'm just trying to take a little bit of time and figure out what my next move is and exactly where I'm going in this big, beautiful life.
Beautiful. It's always exciting not knowing what's going to happen next, and seeing what the world will come and what you'll bring to the world. So that's good.
It's so exciting and slightly terrifying, but there's,
too.
you know,
Both of
Yeah.
those.
We hear you.
exactly. And when you get opportunities like this, I think it just reminds you like of the sweetness of life. And you know, I was already dreaming about all my other ideas and writing, and so we'll
Beautiful.
figure out a way to make it coexist. You know.
And it's about connecting to your faith, and it was also about connecting to all the participants, which is
Exactly.
sort of layer it in that great way. Sorry, Olivia, were you going to say something?
Oh no, I was just sharing in the joy. I love that you're bringing in. Yeah, it's very relatable. Both the scariness of this open-ended future that we're all looking at right now, but also there's always exciting stuff on the horizon. We never know what's going to happen.
It's true, and artists tend to thrive on unpredictability. It is very exciting.
That's a hard
Absolutely.
title that I'm trying to adopt, is like artist and creator, and trying to like grow into it and lean into it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You just do it, and then you are.
It's true.
And birthday girl.
Yes, that's me.
Tell us. You look amazing. You ran a marathon today.
Yes, I ran a marathon today, and actually, I inspired Franny to run 6 kilometers for me. So she crushed it this morning too.
I was dead. You can ask Jenna. She got a video. Proof.
You did it though. You crushed it.
I'll be great, girl.
Well, you've inspired me to run out and get a Dairy Queen right afterwards.
Yeah. You go for it.
So,
Yes.
Jenna,
tell us a little about
yourself.
Yes, so I'm an actor from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and I've been an actor for a few years now. I went to university for being an actor, and I'm also a writer, and I've been writing a lot, short plays, long plays, poetry, monologues. And so this project really helped me come into my writing more and share my writing with many people. Typically, I just wrote in my own journal and didn't share with many people. So this has really given me a big opportunity to share on a big stage my writing and my words. And as Fanny said, just the sense of community and who we all are, and talking to all these other Jewish youth people on Zoom, and we've all been messaging on Instagram and different platforms. It's just brought this real sense of community for me. You really, in my experience, can become very disconnected from your Jewish identity, especially in a city where there aren't many other Jews. I don't have many Jewish friends. You just kind of forget about it. You don't think about it. It's kind of always Christmas. It's never Hanukkah sort of thing. And it's been really a treat to be like, oh yeah, other people are having my own experience and we can relate to that. And writing was just a great way to really reconnect with those parts of myself. What's next for me? I mean, as we said, the life of an artist, unpredictable, and we thrive. So I've actually been very fortunate in this pandemic to be able to keep working throughout it. And I hope to continue to write and produce my plays and hopefully continue working as an actor throughout this.
Very cool.
Amazing. And Ori.
Yes.
How are you doing? What have you been up to, and where are you heading?
I've been doing well, thank you. What am I up to? What am I doing? So just a bit about myself. I am a 24-year-old French Canadian Jewish artist, as Jewish is insinuated. But I went to school. I went to York University for acting, and near the end of that, I really started to focus on my writing, and that's become a really large passion of mine. Currently, I'm in the process of developing a play that I wrote called Summer of Semitism, which will be presented as part of the 20th Paprika Festival here in Toronto. It's premiering June 9th. It's a play about 4 friends who went to Jewish summer camp all their life, and now finally, when they're in the positions of head staff and they're in charge of running their beloved home away from home, they're faced with an anti-Semitic attack on the very first day of camp. So they're kind of scrambling to get the pieces together before the kids arrive. So that's kind of currently what I'm doing right now. But after that, who knows? I'm always just looking to write more and to just continue to create and to just work. Yeah.
Will the Paprika Festival be streamed? Will we be able to see it online?
Yes. So you'll be able to see it online. It's a pre-recorded performance. So if you can't see it June 9th, it'll be up and running for the rest of the festival. So it's accessible starting June 9th whenever you're free to watch it. Yeah.
Have you guys found anything surprising about your own Judaism through writing your monologues during the competition? Did anything surprise you about yourself, or did you learn anything about yourselves in the midst of unraveling your thoughts? Whoever wants to jump in.
Yeah. For myself, I mean, I've always known that I don't like conflict. I shy away from conflict. So in the process of writing this piece that's about confronting these I guess gatekeepers in life, at least from my experience, I faced a lot of that growing up. I grew up in Oshawa, so it's a very small Jewish community, and being the only kind of Jew in school, in elementary school and in high school, I guess I felt like I had to stomach a lot of this gatekeeping that I faced because I didn't know how to support myself, and I didn't know how to speak out and up for myself. So in the process of writing this, I realized that if anything, this whole concept of gatekeeping and people telling me who I am and what I'm not, that's one argument or conflict that I'm not going to shy away from. And so I think, if anything, I realized that there's a lot of strength in my Jewishness and my Judaism as a whole.
For you.
Yeah, thank you.
I found that it's just like you feel like you don't have any credibility. Like, what does it mean to be Jewish? Who validates your Jewish identity? What does that even mean? Like, and so I found sharing this monologue with my friends who know I'm Jewish but don't really know anything about Judaism. They were really like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know Jewish funerals were like that. I didn't know this was a rule in Judaism. I didn't know you could speak Hebrew. And I'm like, yeah, I can. I know things about Judaism, and I can be an authority on that. I can educate, and I can share, and I can teach. And so to really embrace that part of myself and be able to engage in conversations about it has been very empowering for me. And I've really enjoyed that kind of meeting myself journey again.
I love that idea that, Jenna presents of meeting yourself. I think for me, when I recall my childhood and younger adulthood, it's almost the opposite, because I think so many of my friends, especially my friends that I was really close to, and even one of my best friends from kindergarten who isn't Jewish, but we always joke that she is more Jewish than not because she's been to synagogue way more than she's ever been to church. I think all of the people around me really knew me as Jewish. Like, those were the things that we celebrated a lot growing up. And there was that lack of my identity and my Blackness because I was so immersed in the Jewish community. I went to Hebrew school 3 times a week, and I went to BBYO. I was the president, and I went to camp and all of this stuff. So, and I had mentioned in our Zoom that we had together, it was really interesting because last year, after George Floyd was murdered, I found a lot of the people that were initially reaching out to me were my Jewish girlfriends, actually. And it started this really interesting kind of conversation of this is something that we never really talked about before. There was always this question of oh, you're Black and Jewish. But once I was yeah, and explained it, it's oh yeah, that's just Fanny, the Black Jew, and that's just kind of how it went. So I think actually really having some hard conversations and saying no, this was really hard at camp, or I was so othered at BBYO when A, B, and C happened. It was so healing. And I think it was a really big eye opener for everybody. And it was almost that final piece of acceptance that I needed, because I think growing up, I always felt like I kind of had to choose being Black or Jewish. And I think that was one of the unspoken things that my grandparents were trying to teach me all along, was that it was never about choosing. It was just about acceptance. And I just have a different and unique, viewpoint to tell my story from.
Exactly.
Wow. Those are three remarkable answers, and this was the goal of Unravel, right? You're unraveling your stories, and of course, there's
Right.
there's a lot of catharsis with really telling your stories and diving deep into what your Judaism means to. Olivia and I are both writing our own stories, what our Jewish identities mean to us, and it's these things are coming up that we would have never in a million years thought of without this platform. So thank you, all three of you, for sharing those answers.
Truly, thank you. And it's
If I could just jump in for 1 sec before you ask the next question. Like you said, you and Olivia are discussing, David and I have had these discussions ourselves over the last 14 years of being the founders of a Jewish theater company, what that means and what that means for us personally also. So those lessons were gifts to us too for the last many years. So that learning and that asking why really is something that continues on, and I think that's quite wonderful for all demographic and all ages. So
yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to jump in and tell that. Yeah.
No, it's true. And honestly, bouncing off that for a second, it's been very interesting talking with both you, Avery, and David, and the two of us, the conversations that we've had where we've realized that a lot of the same questions come up. A lot of the same ideas do pass from generation to generation as we, as a people, try to figure out what this part of our identity means. The trauma that it carries, the joy that it carries. And it's been interesting navigating that. And as I speak for myself, as I've been doing that personally, to get to weave that experience in and out with watching all of these monologues from other people sharing their unique experiences, but finding where we intersect, where the dialogue would continue. It's just been really beautiful, and I'm grateful to everyone in this on this page here for being so open about this. And kind of on that note, we wanted to ask the three of you if there was anything you learned from seeing the other performances on Wednesday. Anything that stuck out to you? Any commonalities that you found interesting?
You feel less alone. I found that a lot. You felt very less alone and very like I had a community behind me, and just the amount of messages I've exchanged with the other participants since that night, it's just your instant connection, instant friendship, instant understanding of one's experience, and being able, especially being from Saskatchewan, being able to connect to these artists from a different province and different backgrounds. It's been so just warm and lovely to be able to connect with these people, and you pick up all the little things, all the little moments they have especially having that Jewish background, you get all the references. You understand what it's like to go to Hebrew school 3 times a week. Everyone hates it. Nobody likes it. And you all of it, preparing for your bar bat mitzvah, those things here where I'm like, oh, I know that experience. Like, I know what that's like. I feel that. I understand that. I can laugh to myself. And I just found the sense of community and immediate understanding immensely supportive and welcoming.
To echo what Jenna said, I was literally texting my mom in capital letters. I was like, did you hear what Ori said about the Haftorah and his piece? My Haftorah was a more. So I was like, I could So it's like Jenna said, I think that relatability, it's like I forget that it's out there because, my people from camp, they know me. We all know each other. It's been so long that, I forget that. And it was so nice. And I think another common thing that I found throughout a lot of the pieces was just that sort of quest for identity and that questioning that is just, it's so ever present. I think especially at a lot of the ages that we're at as, young adults kind of trying to gravitate towards that. And I just feel like there was one thing from everybody's piece that I was I was just wow. It was just a statement, in Jenna's, for example, and she says I'll carry you. It's I messaged her that. I just messaged her that after because I felt it. I felt it so heavily.
Yeah, a common thread that I found throughout, or that came up a lot, was just this idea of like roots and your familial connection, and how that's like a very large part of different people's Judaism. Whether it's you resonate with your familial traditions that get passed down, or you're wanting to go against them, or you're trying to figure it out, or you're searching for something, or you feel lost. I think for me, I think it's really interesting though how everything boils down to our roots and where we come from.
And I think, sorry, I have to add one more thing. I think the one thing that's so like interesting and like unique about Judaism is that we're like, when people hear the word Judaism, they think, oh yeah, this is this religion, and they have this idea what it means to be Jewish. But Judaism, when you're a Jew, I think you understand that it is so much like about the cultural traditions that your family holds. And while it's like we're all having our Pesach Seder, we're all doing it that little bit different. And so that's, sort of like what the whole monologues represented to me. It's like, I recall all these things where it's like, okay, it's the same as my family, but different, like Friday night dinner at Hannah's is different, and Pesach Seder at Ali Edelman's is different versus, Shabbat dinner with the Marcuses. Like, it's all different, but it's yet the same and still so familiar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, I love looking at these traditions, both surface and deep. These deep traditions that are embedded in our beliefs, and you've obviously built this beautiful community, the three of you guys, across Canada, which is remarkable. And that was another huge goal of ours with Unravel. But what happens when we build this community past Canada, beyond Canada, internationally? And that's what we plan to do with our next competition, Unravel Worldwide. So we want to open this up to everybody. And that's actually another question that we have for you. What advice would you have for future Unravel participants?
I would say whatever you think about yourself, it's not wrong. Like, write down what if it's a monologue competition, write what comes to your heart, write what comes to your mind. Anything you say isn't going to be wrong or bad. Start there, get your heart on the page, leave it for a couple days, come back, evaluate what do you like, what don't you like. I found in my process, I just kind of spit something out super fast. And I was like, okay, this is it. I'm going to leave it for a week. And then I left it for a week. And then I just had a couple lines in my head, like this one line, okay, that's really powerful. That's hooked to me. And then go back and edit. But just that first experience when you're confronted with answering let's say it's Jewish identity, whatever the question is on a worldwide scale. Like, what is your gut? What do you think? And just pour your heart on the page. Don't judge it and come back to it later, because that's going to be the most beautiful work, the most honest work. And it's your work, so it's going to be awesome no matter what.
Yeah, I very much agree. And to add on to that, I think the importance of just taking your time to reflect, to not rush it. I think when I found out about this competition for myself, I was very eager to submit and write, and everything that I wrote just did not work. And I was stumped and I was very frustrated. And so I was like, you know what, I'll walk away. And I'm glad that I did, because it gave me time to gather my own experiences and go through what I've gone through thus far in my life. That really helped me write the piece that I had, and also to just go for it in whatever idea or concept that you want to do. I was very hesitant to even say the F word at the end of my my piece, and then I was like, why not? Just fuck it, just go for it. See, I just said it right now. But just go for it, because that's like what your instinct and your gut is telling you to do and to say, and that's how you want to react. So why censor yourself in that sense? Why withhold showing your true feelings when it's something that's so important to you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't have a ton to add. I echo what Jenna and Ori said. I really think life is about allowing yourself to be seen. So, if you're writing, especially a monologue, it's not going to work unless you're willing to be vulnerable, and that's part of like the fun. That's part of the fun with it. And I don't know. I think too, this is like a little bit of a corny thing that I did, but I was having kind of similar to Ori, like I was having some trouble writing mine and I didn't really know what direction I wanted to go. And so like I'd written a few things and then sort of like, you know, Jenna and Ori have mentioned, I walked away, I left it for a couple of days. And then when I came back to it, you know, when I was thinking about like the essence that I wanted to capture, I was like, I got out some old letters that my Bobby wrote me. And, you know, I like got out her Hadassah pin. She used to write Hadassah plays. And I looked through old camp photos and I was like, hey, let's have fun. You know, like this is who I am. I've accepted it. Let's have fun. And I did.
Beautiful.
Wow. Extraordinary. Extraordinary, the wisdom and the heart and the courage and the bravery and the ability and the I think the gift of knowing to let go, just to get out of your own way. I mean, that's a life lesson, you know, when you can just take and accept what, you know, let it go and take what accept in and embrace it, and whether it be painful or not painful, but to embrace it so you can let it go and it dissolves or whatever. So the three of you did an extraordinary job, as did everybody else who wrote in this. And our judges had we were online for quite a while discussing, and I even hate to say, and the winner is only because you're all incredible people. And Jenna, we look forward to what you bring to us, you know, as an actress and an activist in the future. And Fanny, you know, what you bring to us in the future in terms of your own beauty and writing and stuff. And Ori, I can't wait to read your play.
Thank
you know, because we're always looking for new stuff and new young writers and stuff, and it sounds fascinating. So I'll leave it to you, Jeremy and Olivia, to start this ball rolling.
Okay. In third place, with a prize of $100.
Ori Black.
Yay!
Hey, Ori.
So the
in
next two
second
go
place.
hand in hand. Go ahead, Dave.
Yes. In second place with a cash prize of $250 is the birthday girl, Jenna Barron.
And the winner of a $500 cash prize is Fanny Kurz. So congratulations to all of you. It's been extraordinary. And before we close off from the three of you, first of all, from Dave and Olivia and Jeremy, before our winners say a final thing, do you have anything to say or impart, or before we move on?
Just congratulations, and thank you so much for sharing your stories with us. And this goes out to everyone who submitted, frankly, to this crazy project. Thank you for opening your hearts and your voices to us. It was such a treat and really, really lovely, just beautiful experience to be a part of and to hear from all of you.
Yeah, I echo what Olivia said. I have goosebumps now. Like I'm taken by all three of you, and David and Avery too, of course. This is we have a large new Jewish family here, and I appreciate all of you.
Yes,
it's fascinating. The question is, what does it mean to you to be Jewish? It's a simple question, but all the things that came out of it, the relationships across Canada from the contestants, and some of the way we can absorb all of the different answers. It was really a remarkable journey. So, and I can't wait to go take it to another step and seeing the global, what does it mean to be Jewish from a young person's perspective further. What a great beginning and what a great start, and we're thrilled.
Yeah.
With how it all
So I just leave it to you to say a sentence. What you want to say? Ori, we'll start with you. If you'd like to say anything,
Honestly, I just want to thank everyone for having me, and I'm very grateful and fortunate for this opportunity, because similarly, I've had goals of just like championing new works of the next generation of young Jewish voices, and so to be a part of this and to be in a room or a virtual room with everyone here, it really warms my heart. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jenna.
I want to thank all my friends. And of course, they've been a great support this whole time, and especially my parents, my mom and my dad, and my grandma, who was a big inspiration for this piece. My parents have been a huge support this entire time, my entire career. So thank you so much to them.
Wonderful. Fanny?
I just want to say thank you, of course, to everyone for the experience and the opportunity. I'm so grateful for everything, and I'm already going to be annoying you guys at Unravel because I've already been telling Olivia about my play ideas. But I also just really wanted to say thank you to my friends and my huge support system and my mom, and a really big thank you to my mentor, Auntie Chris, because I honestly would not have heard about this if she didn't send it to me. And Chris has really been such a big part of helping me find my voice. So I'm so grateful to my Auntie Chris.
Terrific.
Wow. You know, I think we had just under 1,000 people vote.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
It is incredible.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of people who saw the videos and voted.
Yes. Someone once told me that faith means family all in the home. So to our new family, we thank you, Jenna, Ori, and Fanny, and I know we'll be in touch. So to the three of you, God bless and thanks so much, and we'll see you soon, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
La prochaine fois.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, they're so wonderful, and
Yeah.
congratulations, everyone. What a fantastic process.
Yeah.
It's been truly so heartwarming and so inspiring, and just another extension of those congratulations and a big thank you to everyone who shared their beautiful work with us. Thank you, Avery and David, for embracing this collaboration, and it's been such a pleasure starting off this journey together with you guys, and we are thrilled. We're so grateful to have had all of you as a part of Unravel, the inaugural event of the Barlin Daniels Emerging Artists Initiative.
Yeah, thank you all so much. And a reminder that the Unravel broadcast will remain posted on the Harold Green Jewish Theater YouTube channel, free to watch whenever you'd like.
Hey, listen, stay tuned for more information about our upcoming projects from the Barlin Daniels Initiative. So you can follow us at the Harold Green Jewish Theater Company on Instagram at HG Jewish Theater, or on Facebook at Harold Green Jewish Theater, or on our website at hgjewishtheater.com.
So from all of us, thank you, and we'll see you all soon. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good night.
everyone. Mwah.
Good night.